Hi everyone. I decided not to record this live because I'm bound to stuff up somewhere and get a bit nervous and have to repeat myself. I'm not great on live video, but what I really wanted to do is tell you my little story about Q Sciences products and how they've helped me. Well, about 10 years ago, my first husband passed away very suddenly and left me with 2 kids. And since then, my body kind of gave up on me. I guess the stress of it all affected my adrenals and my health. And just 2 years ago now, I also had my youngest daughter was in a major car accident as well, and it was all at the same time that I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. So I had my thyroid out in 2 separate operations. It took the first operation to take half of it and then get diagnosed. And it was at that time the surgeon said to me, "Oh, do you know you've got Hashimoto's?" And I'm like, "No, that's news to me." Standard blood tests and everything, the doctors have always told me my thyroid was fine, but when you go back and look at them now, they really don't test everything they need to test. They'll just test one little element, and that element's not even produced by your thyroid. So if you have doubts about your thyroid results from your GP, question it and demand further testing because they're not always right. Anyway, so at that point I actually looked up what Hashimoto's meant. I knew it was an underactive thyroid. I didn't really know much more about it. So even though I no longer had a thyroid, I still have Hashimoto's. That doesn't just go away. Hashimoto's can go into remission by following a diet and looking after your gut and reducing stress, which isn't easy. So yeah, there's lots of factors involved that affect how you actually feel. And not having a thyroid just makes it harder because you don't have that organ that effectively runs your whole body. So Hashimoto's can cause extreme fatigue, brain fog, ongoing migraines, constipation, which is just great. Oh God, there's a whole range of things. There's like a list I went through. It must have about 100 different symptoms on, and I ticked pretty much most of those symptoms. So over the last, or about 2.5 years after having my thyroid out, I sought help from an awesome page called Thyroid WA, and the people on there are so knowledgeable. If you have any thyroid issues whatsoever, I highly recommend jumping on that page and seeking some help from those people. It includes some thyroid-savvy naturopaths and lots of recommendations for doctors that can actually help you. Unfortunately, there's not many and there's a big waiting list, but seeing one of those doctors and seeing one of the naturopaths on the page, plus having a support network, was amazing, and I felt so much better. I do have my own financial planning business, which is pretty stressful as well, so I couldn't work full time. I did my best, and some weeks I could, and then really the weeks following that I was in such a fatigue and brain fog it was just impossible. So I just did what I could, and my business really suffered from that. Obviously our finances suffered from that. My clients, some of those clients suffered from that as well, which isn't great. When was it now? It was over a year ago because of COVID. We went to Vegas with a group of friends. We had a bit of a holiday, which we'd been planning for quite a while. And over there, cannabis is legal. So we tried it. I was astounded by the effect it had. So I think it was the first night we were there, we were out on the town, as you do in Vegas, and we had some CBD. It wasn't full-on cannabis, so we didn't get high, but we had the effects of the CBD, and we didn't really know what we were doing, so I actually didn't know the difference at the time. Obviously, when I didn't get high, I knew the difference. I had been suffering quite chronic back pain and neck pain as well. My husband has chronic neck pain, and we found even after all the travel going to Vegas, both of us were pain-free for basically the rest of the trip. So that was pretty incredible. And also on that night, we had the most amazing sleep ever, and it wasn't even jet lag. Like, the jet lag probably would have caused us to stay awake longer, if anything, but we just crashed. It was incredible. So needless to say, when we got home, I did a bit of research and tried to find a supply of CBD oil over here, and all I could find was, A, it was illegal, and B, it was available, but really, really expensive. So I'd found a couple of places that would supply it to us. Whether it would arrive through customs or not, I don't know. But I got prices off those, and look, it just wasn't affordable. I couldn't do it. I just thought, no, I'm just going to have to stay like this and be like this forever. And yeah, I went on with life and did the best I could to manage my stress levels and my workload. Like, I really couldn't even exercise, because if I did, it would wipe me out for days. I'd end up in bed for days. It was yeah, just difficult to manage, but I managed, and that's all I can say. I was just managing. Since then, a friend of mine, Janine Davidson, put on her Facebook page something about hemp oil. So as soon as I saw it, I messaged her. I said, quick, tell me, I've been looking for this. Tell me all about it. So she did, and she had only just joined up with Q Sciences at that time, and invited me along to a presentation at Optus Stadium, where Jake and Mario and some others from Q Sciences came to present the business and the products to people in Perth. That day I was just exhausted. Janine could tell you. I felt like my eyes were hanging out my head. I really struggled. I considered not going. I just wanted to stay in bed all day. I was in pain, my head was aching, I was tired. When you're really fatigued, it feels like your legs are made out of lead, and it's horrendous. It's like, if you haven't had it, it's really hard to really even imagine how bad it is. But I was so inspired. I said to Jean, no, you're signing me up. I need to be part of this. This is going to be big, and I need to be part of it. So I signed up. Since then, once I got my hemp oil in my hands, it was within days that I felt so much better. My exercise regime pretty much consists of a gentle yoga class once a week, and because that's all my body could handle. And after 2 days taking hemp oil, yoga was easier. I made it through the whole class without wishing it was ending soon, and I balanced better, I stretched better. It was just incredible. I had energy which I had not had for years, and I worked full time all of a sudden. Like, my very first week of taking hemp oil, I was working full time again. My back wasn't hurting. I just felt good. Like, little crap that's going on in my life wasn't bothering me at all. So that was an absolute bonus. I didn't even think about anything like that. It was probably a month after, probably not even a month, COVID sort of hit, and then we had problems with shipping, and then we were unable to get the hemp oil, and so we'd run out, and I just fell in a heap again. Like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, oh my God, I'm back exactly where I started. I need to get this hemp. Like, I need it. So I'm so thankful that we were able to get it, and we've got it again in our lives, because I just can't, I can't work full time. I can't be normal without it. And in the beginning, my husband's probably used to me signing up to things. Like, in the past, I've signed up to Unique because I like their eyelashes. I signed up to Nutrimedics. You know, I like good products, and if I like the product, I'll sign up and become a sales rep or an ambassador for them. So he was probably like, oh, what's Corinne doing now? He was calling the hemp oil snake oil, and just you know, thought it was all in my mind. You know, it was in my mind that it was working. So I made him start taking it. He used to be on for his neck, Lyrica, Celebrex, Panadol Osteo, and then would still take, if he had to, would take Nurofen or whatever else during the day. And he wasn't exercising. He was pretty miserable most of the time, although he'll deny that. And look, his genetics are naturally probably a bit lazy, but it was making him lazier. And he's a shift worker, so that doesn't help either. Well, when we actually run out of the hemp oil, he said, you need to get that back. And I'm like, okay, so it works then? It's not in my mind. He said, yep, we need it back. And we got it back, and we've been able to keep up our supply of it. And he said, we are never allowed to run out of that again. He is no longer on any of his medications. He'll only take Panadol or Nurofen if he's got a bit of a headache. That's all he's on is a hemp oil, nothing else. And now he swears by it. He tells everyone he knows about it, which is great. And he does get drug tested for work, and he's fine. There's no THCs shown up at all, and he just loves it. So he no longer calls it snake oil. He does roll his eyes a bit when I'm trying to build my business and listening to some of our training and talks, so I always make sure I put the earplugs in. That's his problem, not mine. It's just a product that I want to tell everyone about. Since joining and trying the hemp oil, I've also tried lots of the other products, and I just love them. The Vitalize has really helped me manage my hormone levels, and it has adrenal support in it as well, which my naturopath told me once I showed her the data sheet. The Align's really good for ongoing pain, and I started using that just because my back wasn't 100%. It was better, but it just needed a bit more. And when I'm taking the Align as well as a hemp oil, it's pretty much 100%, unless I do something really stupid. What else do I take? I've got the sprays. The sleep spray is amazing. So with the shift working husband, I quite often struggle to sleep, so I use the sleep spray, and it knocks me out, which is pretty good. And I've tried all the sprays really. I've tried just about every product except the Men's Vitalize. I think I've tried, and I love them all. I use what I want when I want and when I need it, and they're just fantastic. It's changed my life for the better, and I really want to help everyone I know that has problems, whether it be autoimmune issues or pain or anxiety or anything else. I just love the products, and I just really want to help people and show them and make sure they love them too. So thanks for listening, and I hope this is helpful to anyone that's got any issues, whether they be autoimmune issues or pain, anxiety, anything else. And good luck on your Q Sciences journey. Mwah.